Okay, so here we are. We're live with Alacan't, the GenCon Alaboom.
That's the best.
I have Marguerite with me here. Why don't you tell the viewers a little bit about yourself there?
Hey guys, I'm MaggieBot. I do a lot of just random internet things. So I do vlogs, and I'm on the board game blender for Dice Tower, and I do purchasing in my day gig. So I know a lot of things about a lot of games.
Okay. Uh, now, some people may be joining us a little later, maybe not. Everybody's at GenCon, so I don't know.
We are live from GenCon. Thank you.
Yeah. So, what are you excited about seeing coming out of GenCon?
For me personally, the one I want to see the most on is Steamworks from Tasty Minstrel. It's steampunky, which is not usually my thing, but it looks really cool. It's like a worker placement game where you're kind of building up the different worker placement spots as you go. Could be good.
Okay.
What about you?
Not really sure. Like I said, I wasn't real impressed with what was coming out. I heard Fury Jackley's getting a reprint. I don't know if there's going to be a demo there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually one of my Grail games. So, trying to think what else.
Well, everyone's talking about Ashes. That's the con hit. I'm excited to try it. I don't know if it's gonna be any good, but everyone that's tried it has loved it.
Yeah, it was. I did some early playtesting on it. It was a pretty interesting concept of the game. Yeah, I probably will get it a little later on when it comes out, but
Right.
I've seen it at Origins. The artwork is very beautiful. I just didn't get a chance to sit down and demo it.
They're really smart about their releases, though. So I have faith that thing's gonna have some legs to it. So
Yeah, I'm sure.
I've got a mule getting me my copy of Code Names from Check Games.
Okay.
That's Vlada's like version of Password.
Yeah, I did hear a lot of good things about that. That it is actually one I was interested in. Let me bring up the list here to see. I can't remember what exactly is coming out with Gen Con. Got a very bad memory.
The last one I've got people picking up for me is the Atlanteans from Imperial Settlers. So
Oh yeah,
I'm over the moon about that.
yeah. They're both anything from Portal. I'm excited about
Yeah, pretty much.
the Rattlebones and a very good thing about that little card game.
Tides of Time.
Tides of Time. Yeah.
I have heard some mixed reviews of Rattle Battle. That it's beautiful, but just not. It doesn't have any meat to it.
Yeah, I did hear that. I like pretty much every game I played of Ignatius except for The Witcher. So, yeah.
I think the problems with The Witcher were not necessarily his fault.
Yeah, neither I. Yeah. Once Fantasy Flight got a hold of it, God only knows what they did.
That was a big old mess.
Yeah. I did hear Rattle Battle was light. And I don't think people were really expecting that from Ignacy. I think they think of him, they expect like medium weight, heavier weight Euros.
So I'm excited for Tides of Time because I hope that just gives them enough cash to do whatever they want to do next. Because that little thing's gonna sell like crazy.
Yeah. Let's see. I heard my friend will be demoing Ninja Camp out there. Travis.
Okay.
A lot of people are excited about that one. I don't know. Let's see. I'm looking at the list now. Like I said, I can't remember. Anything else?
Let's see. I think the Gen Con is a little on the light side of how many games I'm excited for this year.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much everybody's
So
conclusion.
it there's always like one or two surprises in a mix like that. I think a couple games like things like Stockpile probably do pretty well because they had such buzz from Dice Tower Con that they might do well after Gen Con. I hope.
Right. Let's see. Toxis game's coming out. That the Firefly dice game.
Oh, the shiny dice.
Yes, nobody seems to know anything about that.
I know nothing about that game.
They kept a pretty tight lid on that one.
I ordered a lot of it because anything that says Firefly sells.
It is true. It's
And I'm happy for Tox. I saw a couple interviews with him for it, so
yeah. We'll see how well he does. It's I'm wondering how that'll work with him. If it'll be a conflict of interest, him working for Arcane Wonders and all. I mean, it was already signed before he started working for him, but
yeah. But I think he'll do okay.
Yeah.
It just gets his name out more, and that's always a good thing.
Oh yeah. The Carl Chidek game, which I can't pronounce. Motene, yes.
Oh, I'm so excited about Motene. I have 4 decks coming from the Kickstarter.
Wow. Really?
I'm a Chidek fangirl, though.
Okay. I did play a print and play version of that. I think I need to play it again before I can decide on it. It was I'm sorry, go ahead.
We played the first print and play version that they put out, and I had a heck of a time trying to get other people to play it with me because it's so weird. I'm like, oh no, you're fine. These just give you discounts. This makes it better, and I think that one is a little hard to play in prototype form. You need the actual rules so people can read them. I have high hopes because Impulse didn't do well in my crew.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was an ugly game, Impulse. It was a really ugly game.
It's so fun.
Yeah, well, it's not fair. Yeah, like I said, I want to play this again, get my head around it. One Night Vampire.
Oh, is that coming out? I know they.
I think it's going to be a demo.
It. Okay, because I think they usually give you lots of time to know that things are coming out because those aren't even on pre-order yet.
Yeah, that I'm curious to see how that works and if it's just another, if it's just milking the cow,
Well, and especially when Coup the Rebellion, I think it's called the 24 person version of Coup.
Yeah,
that one's coming out any day now, so I don't know that we needed another One Night at the same time.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well,
you're more of a Euro gamer, though, right?
Yeah. So Gen Con's always a little rough for me.
Yeah, I thought I remembered that. You're more into the Essen.
Oh, it's gonna be a good year, I hope.
New York 1901. I thought that came out at Origins. I actually did look at Origins.
People had it at Dice Tower Con and Origins and could purchase it there, but it still isn't scheduled to come out to stores till September or so. So I'm excited for that one. Just the price point and how cute it is and everything. It's gonna do real well, but that's my retail side caring about it.
Well, how does that affect you, being a consumer and working in the retail? Do you look
honestly,
Good.
Oh, sorry. I honestly think I play a bigger range of games than I would normally. Like if I were just a player of games, I would probably stick to mostly Euros and only heavies. And because I need to kind of keep track of everything for the store, I end up playing a lot of light stuff, and I play a wider selection, and so I have games that are not what you think I would enjoy that I do enjoy. I think it makes me a better gamer.
Okay. What else we got here? The Takanako expansion. That is one of my
Um,
wife's favorite games.
oh, the little panda.
Yeah.
Oh, the chibis. Oh. I actually don't know what that adds. Do you know what that adds to the game?
Let me see. I thought I remember something about the panda being able to have babies or something like that.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry. I had a female. Yeah, it does. A female panda, 9 baby pandas, 6 more plot tiles, 18 cards, and some more bamboo. So yeah, the pandas have babies.
Well, because what that game really needed was a new objective deck that you could replace the objective deck that cares about where your tiles are. Because it was just such a. No one should ever take that objective. It's so bad compared to the other two. So
Yeah.
if you could just replace that whole deck.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. That seemed like a cop out, like you were saying. Just they needed something to fill it in.
Ooh, I know what I'm excited for. Nautilus Industries from Lamplight Games. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't.
It was a Kickstarter a while back, and this little company from Canada, and they were trying to make this beautiful Euro game. And they had a lot of trouble, and they just barely got their copies in time for GenCon, so they just got them like last week. I'm really excited for them. I have a deluxe version of that coming to me.
Wait, what's it about? The game?
I'm trying to remember. It's been a long time since that Kickstarter. I know that you are trying to buy and sell goods from the sea. I don't remember much about it. That is my biggest problem with my Kickstarter habit. By the time this stuff comes back to me, I'm just like, oh, cool. I wonder what this was about.
It's like Christmas.
Exactly. I know that and Favor of the Pharaoh from Tom Lehman. I remember being excited about that for a while.
Okay.
Are you a Tom Lehman fan?
No, I've heard of them though.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever played one of his games.
Oh, well, that's something. You should definitely take some time and play. Now I'm spacing, but something from him. Goodness gracious. So I'm trying to look up Nautilus Industries and talk at the same time. You should play Race for the Galaxy. It was my first game that I ever played. But
Oh, that's what it was. I own it. I never played it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't get past the rules yet. Yeah, I didn't get past the rules yet. I also did the Roll for the Galaxy.
You played it or you have it?
I played that one.
So I think you're a good point if you played Roll. Race is just a faster, a little bit. I mean, it's less interactive, but in a good way. And the expansions, the first 3 expansions for Race for the Galaxy are amazing. So I didn't love the game until all 3 expansions were out and kind of integrated.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I have to get down to the table. I've heard people. There's a person in my game group who's a diehard Race for the Galaxy fan, and she will not play Roll for the Galaxy because she doesn't. she doesn't want to. She feels like she's cheating on the race.
I played Roll, and it basically reminded me of playing Race without any of the expansions. So it's got pretty much the same couple strategies that they had in the base Race for the Galaxy. It's all right. It's just not for me.
Yeah. All right. I was just looking at one Jamie was talking to me about, the Grizzled. That seems
I saw
interesting.
some pictures.
Yeah, it's a cooperative World War I game. Like cool mini or not, surprisingly or not.
Well, sure.
We'll see.
I've heard good things about the Village Crone too.
Yeah,
that one looked pretty.
That's another one. I was talking to somebody about. I just forget. That's what's the problem. You know, it's
Well, I think you and I didn't have to go. We weren't going to Gen Con, so I didn't have my like diehard list I needed.
yeah, that's true.
Are you doing anything special for GenCon?
Me and my wife are supposed to play a game of Arkham Horror tomorrow. It's one I
Alright.
don't get to the table often because the length of it. You know. Other than that, I don't think so.
Okay.
I'll have to see what's going on down the shore this weekend. Or might get some gaming in there, but we'll see. Unfortunately, my gaming time has been cut dramatically. You know, it's like once a week, maybe twice a week.
Oh.
You know, as opposed to 3 or 4 times. You know, but
I overdid it this month. I've got 65 recorded plays. It's just a little much.
yeah, I used to be like that.
It's not every month, but sometimes they pile on.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, unfortunately, like I said, it was just time right now, scheduling and all that. We don't get a
Right.
whole lot in. We're actually trying to debate on what we're going to film for the next video for the channel because of the time. Yeah.
Oh no. If you can get that 1901, that's perfect for your channel, right?
Yeah, if you go by the
That
name
New
of the
York
channel.
game.
Yeah, that's. I didn't put a lot of thought into that. You know, but yeah, my wife likes tile laying games, so I think she'd enjoy that.
Well, and Urbania was close, and that's what it looked like to me when I saw 1901. I was like, oh, maybe they made Urbania a better game.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. Yeah, but she liked that cacao, so that's
Oh, okay.
probably about the same weight. So I'm figuring she'll probably like 1901.
Yeah, that's about the same weight. Cacao was all right. I liked it.
Yeah, so did I. I was surprised at how many choices you get out of that for being such a a light game.
Well, and I liked it better than Carcassonne, honestly. People kept comparing them. I was like, I had more fun playing Cacao.
There's no chat open for Alaboom. Ooh. Let's see what's going on there. I swear I put it on.
Oh, I don't even see a chat.
Okay. Right, let's turn the volume off there. There we go. All right. Sorry about that, folks. I thought I put it on. Give me 1 second.
We're all made of fail here today.
Uh,
They go away to Gen Con and we ruin everything.
everything. That's why Lance don't trust me with his own channel.
Oh man, I'm excited though. Gen Camp for us is going to be 4.5 days of gaming, something like that. So I brought out all the games I haven't been able to get to a table in a while, and I put them in a stack. That's what we're hoping to do.
Okay. Yeah, I meant to ask you. Why don't we talk about that a little bit? What GenCon is for people who don't know.
So last year, I think it was last year, it was the first time, but people kept talking on Twitter about not being at Gen Con and seeing everyone's tweets from Gen Con. And someone made some joke about being at Gen Can't, the people that weren't there. And it kind of took off, and people were talking about how short the lines were at Gen Can't and taking pictures of their kids playing games with them. And eventually it got to the point where 45 Suzanne decided to make it an actual thing. So they started running some contests with donated prizes and photos and things like that. And this year it's a little more organized. They actually bought the domain gencant.com, and she's running an official photo contest and raffle. It's pretty interesting to me that it kind of grew out of nothing, and it's giant now. I have a GenCant column on my tweet deck, and it's blowing up all day. Did you do it last year? I lose you. Barry, you still there?
There you go. Sorry about that. I'm trying to figure out this chat thing. I don't know why it didn't load up. Now what publishers are involved with this?
Oh boy, there's a pretty hefty list. I know that Crash Games and Meeple Source. I know. Let's see if I can just get to the page. Crash Games, Smart Play Games, Simple Designing. There's a huge list at GenCant.com. Portal Games and Level 99 and Check Games, Stronghold Games. Pretty much anyone has at least done a couple of games.
Okay. Yeah, Suzanne was talking a little bit about it. Sounds a pretty cool thing they're doing.
It's amazing.
A lot of work, though, from what I understand.
I don't envy her that. She needs like a minion or a helper next time.
Yeah. I could imagine trying to coordinate all that.
No.
So, what are you excited about for Essen? I know, like you said, you're a Eurogamer.
I haven't done not even square one of my research yet. By the time Essen comes around, I will have a list of probably 200 things to check out. Just the sheer number of games that come out at Essen are bananas. But there's supposed to be a new Splatter release and a new Spielworks release, and I'll be very excited to get my hands on either of those. And then Small City from Albion VR, I know that'll be there. And I somehow resisted already buying it, but I'll probably buy it real soon.
Okay. Now, do you go to that Sasquatch? That thing Joel goes to?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Sasquatch is a really cool Seattle area post-Essen kind of weekend. It's like 4 days of just sitting around and gaming. It feels a little like BGG Con, but smaller. It's run by a woman named Jennifer, and they'll get all of the Essen releases and bring them back so you can kind of play them right away. It's pretty amazing.
Okay. Yeah, Joel talks highly of it. I don't think he's going this year because he's going to board game BBG Con.
I know. He said he's going to BGG instead of Sasquatch. I said, why not both? BGG it's fun on its own, but the benefit of Sasquatch is all of Essen releases will be there. You can play anything you want. It's really neat.
Yeah. One day, well, it's an invite, like you said, but like I said, I've only been to 2 cons. I'd like to get to a few more next year, maybe. Let's try them out. I've been to Origins and then Unpub. Unpub was pretty cool. You see all these games just starting out.
That was my favorite part. I went to GenCon last year, and they do a pretty big part of that is the prototype hall, and it's neat to kind of talk to people about how their games are going and watch them progress from the prototype you played at the con all the way through the Kickstarter. I had a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, like I said, I did playtest some of the Plaidhead stuff, and I was surprised how polished they were compared to a lot of them at Unpub. You know, it was cool to see that the different stages of them. I still having a hard time with this chat. But hold on, guys. I'm working on the chat thing.
You can always tweet at me if you want to say something, but
Yeah, that's true. um, so what have you been playing lately?
This last week, I got Lagrange on the table, which was a SN release last year, but Stronghold brought it to the States, and so that's really neat. Have you played that one?
Not yet. I was going to last week, but I just didn't get time to. Beer mongers there.
So basically, it's a farming game, and it feels a little like the first time you played Copycat, if you ever played Copycat, where you can pick out the different parts of it from other games. Like there's the temple mechanic from Luna, and it's really kind of a mishmash of different Feld and Rosenberg things. And each of the cards is used in a different way, and there's a ton of different powers. So it was interesting to play the first time. I'm looking forward to replaying it this weekend.
Yeah, we haven't. Well, Jen and I just got done Agents of Smirch for the video.
Oh.
Trying. Spyfall. We've been playing a lot of that with the family. They really enjoy that one.
I've heard good things about Agents of Smirch. I've never played it.
Yeah, have you ever played Tales of the Arabian Nights?
Yeah, it wasn't quite my thing, but I heard Smirch is a little bit more game.
Yeah, it's got a point to it, and Arabian Nights feels like it's pushing you along. Where this one, you feel like you have choices, and you're not being pushed along.
That makes sense. We also got to play my copy of Florenza. Came off my shame shelf of things I hadn't played. And that's kind of an old school Italian Euro with some major graphic issues, but otherwise an amazing little game.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I never actually played it though.
It's one of those where you're just staring at everyone else's boards the whole time, so you get that like neck ache problem. But it's pretty neat the way that everything has a different order of resolving, and you're kind of fighting over Da Vinci or whatever artists are available.
Okay. Sounds pretty interesting. We'll have to check that one out. I'm kind of like, not recently, because I haven't bought a new game in a couple months, but for a while it was Colt to the No. I barely got a game to the table more than twice.
Oh no.
Yeah. But like I said, the gaming's cut down, and I've noticed I've been playing the same game more than once or twice, Except for anything that's done for Jen. Or usually I'm into that 5 or 6 times before I touch it. But
yeah.
Trying to think what else. I did a solo game of Robinson Crusoe. I love that game, but it's brutal. It really is.
I played it once. I got my butt handed to me.
That's usually what happens.
I just remember, I think it was the weather dice that killed us. It was really hard.
Yeah, that's usually the case. It's the weather dice. Once in a while, the events, but mostly it's the weather.
But that game has that. One of my favorite promos is the spyglass that you have to break to use. And I watched like 10 people at last year's BGG-Con trying to use it without breaking it, and Ignacy was just sitting there snapping them. It was great.
Yeah, he's a funny guy, Ignacy. Why isn't this going on? I'm trying to think what else. I got some heavier Euros. I'm trying to get Jen into. Slowly working on my way up on that. It's tough.
Usually you'll find like maybe if she likes one designer or something, you can kind of spam out that designer for a while and then try and find something similar.
Yeah, it's a lot of times it's the scheduling. Like I said, she's not really in the longer games. She'll do them once in a while, but I think the heaviest she's ever played was Power Grid. I couldn't remember the name of it there.
Yeah. things like little games like La Isla or even weirdo games like San Malo can be kind of fun to show. It has like a European sensibility, but still like less than an hour.
Okay.
I like some of those.
Yeah, we like I said, I just really haven't. I want to get Kanban. I knew that would never get to the table.
Oh man, but it's so good. There's one game that could break through to people that don't normally like that type of game. That's Kanban. It's so good.
Yeah, I said one day. I seen it at Beer Mongers a couple weeks ago, and I just looked at it and was like, "Nah, I'm not ready for my brain to melt tonight." But
yeah, if you have a good teacher, they'll kind of guide you through it, and then it really isn't that complicated. But it does have that Vital, like there's just everything out on the board. And it's kind of it's a real big mess.
Yeah, that's what it was. It was everybody's first learning game.
Yeah.
They were going back and forth from the rules all night. Why can't I find this?
What you looking for?
I'm still looking for the chat.
Oh no! I was wondering, it's still not up. Don't ask me. I don't know where it is.
It should be automatic. I don't know why it's not.
I'm surprised anyone wants to do a hangout that doesn't want a chat. So.
Alright. Well, let me see something here. 4 people. I know Paul's watching and a couple other people. The usual crowd. Might just have them hop on into the chat room here. Shoot me your email. It's gatewaygamer@gmail.com. I'll send you the link. But in the meantime, let me try and get this straightened out. I don't know why it's not.
Let's see. What else did it was my birthday recently, so I may have bought like 4 or 5 games, like no joke. So I do have a lot of new games to chat about, but I bought DR Congo recently. So that was a Kickstarter game about the Congo, and we finally got it to the table the other night, and it turns out that me and my friends know nothing about the Congo at all. And so it almost feels a little bad to play this game that's supposed to be so serious about trying to build up the people and make it where they don't have to be violent. And it could have just been skinned as a rail game, like about trains, and we would have been just as happy. I feel like I need to do some research before I play it again.
Huh. That's an interesting. If you got to do research about the game, and the theme of the game, that's pretty interesting.
It's like if you played the Underground Railroad game, the Freedom game a while back, I at least knew a lot about that subject matter where I felt I could treat it in a serious manner. Right. But for DR Congo, I know very little about their political state. I know it's not great, but I don't know anything specific.
Yeah, I could see that. I got rid of Underground Railroad just not that long ago. It was a great game and all. It's just I think the theme of it was a little too heavy. We just weren't having fun,
That's not a game where you want to just call it fun. It's not a fun game for anyone. If it's fun, you're not getting it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's yeah, that was a tough one. Yeah, but I did enjoy. I actually enjoy anything Academy Games makes. They are very good company there.
Our group and myself in particular, I'm not huge into co-op games, so we don't play a lot of them. But we did try that one out because it was just so different and so it was a good idea for a game.
Yeah, it was.
We won pretty handily though. it didn't have that Robinson Crusoe kick you butt. Like, we won before the game was even close to over.
Yeah, we've come across that too. We won probably 3 out of 5 times, something like that. It wasn't the hard co-op at all.
Well, I feel like there's an element of co-ops where you kind of want them to be impossible to win, like ghost stories, and if you just win every time, there's no reason to keep coming back.
Yeah, that's true. But it did get tougher on, the harder end of it. But even still, it was.
Yeah, I recently. Oh yeah. We went through my collection recently, and we were kind of culling down to fit things onto my shelves better. I own 1 co-op, so I own Mysterium, and that's the only one I have.
Okay, it's a pretty good one to have.
It's a cool game, right?
Yeah, it is. That's the other one from GenCon. I don't know. I was looking at the components.
Has like the whole room for it this time.
Yeah, I was looking at the components and all. It's kind of a mix between the Polish and the original, which I always get confused. I always want to say Ukrainian, but I know that's wrong. Them 2 editions.
Yeah, I want to say Ukrainian might be correct. I don't remember at all.
I heard they changed a few of the rules too. Made setup a little easier, stuff like that. So,
which is not a bad thing, because the setup is kind of a pain.
Yeah, it is. I was just wondering if you have one version, is it worth getting the other one? Like I know some people will, but
I don't keep that many games at home. I fill up my shelves and I try and keep them to a certain amount. And I don't think I'll own both, but the art is really cool. I'm glad that they did such a good job.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I heard they messed with them a little bit. Sorry, I'm still trying to figure out this chat. I don't know what's going on here.
People are messaging me on Facebook and stuff that they can't chat, so that's okay. We could just talk. So the one game on coming up, and I have 6 games I picked out, and one of them I'm gonna play Duck Dealer. Have you heard of this game?
No.
This is like a splatter game who did like Roads and Boats and Antiquity, but you are interstellar salespeople trying to sell rubber duckies. And
okay.
It's this weird... Everybody in the game has 24 actions. So if you don't want to take an action, you just kind of take some resources. But if I take an action and you don't, it doesn't matter. It just ticks down from 24 to 0, and once you hit 0, the game is over. And I'm really excited to try this game, and I've had it for a while, but I've never played it. But I've never seen another game that does that kind of like, here's your pool of actions, everyone can have whatever they get.
Yeah, it does sound interesting.
Yeah, it's mostly that it's like a 4+ hour game that it's not going to hit the table all the time, but it's basically everything Splatter makes is that long, so.
Sorry guys, I know this is a little choppy, I'm still trying to figure this all out. I don't know why he's doing this.
I wish I knew where that button was for you, but I don't see the control room part of it, so.
Yeah, it should go up automatically. I don't know why it's not. But like I said, I'll keep looking while we're talking. I know Paul is going to hop on soon. I just sent him an email. one of our faithful viewers.
New blood. That'll be good.
Yeah. Travis isn't here to talk everybody's ear off, so I'm trying to, yeah. Or Lance.
Honestly, I feel bad because I haven't been to an Alaboom in ages. I should come by more often, but I just always forget.
Yeah, it's they're a good group of guys. They they go at each other a good bit, but they're a good group of guys. It's that's I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I'm actually that's one thing I love about this hobby. Everybody's real outgoing. I've noticed that throughout my whole time in it, on the media end of it anyway. You ask people questions, they're always quick to respond to you. Like how to do something, or like this, doing a hangout out of the blue.
And I think most of us in our everydays are not so outgoing, but when it comes to games, we're pretty easy to talk and chat and exchange stuff.
Yeah, that's true. I'm actually surprised. I found a lot of people are introverts in the hobby. Not so much the media people, but I mean out on the street. I was surprised about that. Even some of the guys in the hobby, like Chaz, he was telling me, he didn't go to cons because he was afraid of all them people and stuff like that. Then he ended up making a series about it on the Dice Tower.
The Sheepish Meeple series has been amazing though, because I'm kind of an introvert. I don't really people well overall, but his series is amazing. I've been really excited to see Chaz do more and more stuff.
Yeah. I know he puts a lot of time in. We were actually talking about some of the vaccine stuff with that. I was actually surprised. He says, I think it was like 6 or 7 hours for like 3 minutes. And that really surprised me. I didn't think there was that much in it.
Yeah, I could see where he does spend that much time because I don't script and I don't edit much, and I kind of go on by the seat of my pants, and I think he puts a lot of effort into editing and making sure everything's perfect, and it shows.
Yeah, it does. He does very well. A very good job. But like I said, for me, it takes about 10 hours for every hour that goes up. And that's like editing, and I don't do scripts, so that's out. But the rules section of it, that's probably about 10 hours for every hour. That's the toughest part for me.
Tried to script for a while. Every time I tried to script, I would fumble way more than if I don't, so I just don't bother.
Yeah, I find myself doing the same thing. I can never keep on it. I know Chaz was saying he uses a teleprompter. I tried that once. That didn't work out.
Oh, that's right. He made his own teleprompter, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They're out of glass and like a picture frame, basically, an iPad. It's pretty ingenious. Yeah.
MacGyvered his way into a teleprompter.
Now, when I said teleprompter, I meant it, a tablet in front of the camera. just hanging there. But
good enough.
I type about 5 words an hour, so the scripting's not a very good thing for me.
You need speech to text or something.
Yeah, but I mumble a lot, so that doesn't work out either.
Well, then you're just no script for you.
Yeah. I did one on what was it? Arctic Scavengers, and it worked out pretty good. But like I said, it just took me forever to do it.
Are you excited about that game coming back?
I don't know. I mean, I know there's going to be another expansion in it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. You know, I liked it more than Dominion.
That's not saying much, though, right?
Yeah, you know. But I think if it came out earlier, like it was supposed to, it would have done a lot better. But I think with so many other deck builders out there, I don't know if it'll do well.
When it was out before and Shut Up and Sit Down did their review of it, it sold out almost immediately. And since then, I tried it, and I just don't quite get the hype. I'm trying, because we reordered it back in, and it came back in just a couple days ago, and I don't quite understand why that is so much better than any other deck builder.
Yeah, neither. Yeah, I can't really see it either. I mean, you get the choice, you know, of how you use the cards, you know.
Sure.
But, and I guess that, I forget what they call it, where you're fighting each other, you know, for resources. I forget what they call the stage, but I guess that's a little different. But like I said, with, you know, like the Marvel game and the DC deck builder and all that, I don't know if it'll swim, you know.
I think it'll do just fine, just because it had so much hype around it. But for my money, there's so few deck builders I enjoy, so it's just not for me, I think, and maybe not the audience. Core Worlds was pretty much my favorite, and since then I haven't liked many. That was a while ago.
Yeah, I have the encounters. I cannot remember the name of the system. Legendary Encounters.
Oh, okay.
I did enjoy that. And I think I'm going to pick up the Predator one when it comes out, just to mix with the two.
They get the coolest IP for that. They got Predators, Aliens, and Marvel, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I know a lot of guys love that Marvel, and I've never played it. Now, I talked to a couple guys who played both, and some of them do like the Legendary Encounters one better than the Marvel. Just the gameplay wise, not necessarily the theme. You know, they think the Encounters is a tighter game.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And somebody actually did try to mix the two. It didn't work out too well, they said.
They're meant to be different, I think.
Yeah, but I think, you know, the Marvel has enough stuff on it, and that's up to like 6 or 7 expansions or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't really think it's necessary to mix in Aliens.
That's just too much. The game already takes 2 hours to set up anyway.
Oh yeah. That's I almost got rid of Encounters when I first got it, because of the sorting all them cards. I was like, this is insane. You know, there's 600 cards, and there's no rhyme or reason on how they packaged it.
I know that people have custom setups so that it makes it easier, but I feel like the Upper Deck should have had to do that. That should have been on them.
Yeah, well, now I got it set up, but, you know, whereas I'll pull out one movie and throw it out there, and you just mix in a couple cards. But the beginning was horrible. It's, you know, I should have read the rule book and I didn't, but there's tiny print on the bottom that tells you what each deck is, you know, and I was going by the colors.
Oh no.
So I got like a third of the way through, and I seen that. But we'll see. Yeah, I really don't know much about the expansion for that Arctic Scavengers. I don't know.
I don't know if they're gonna be able to improve it much. So I'm just assuming it's gonna sell to the people that heard about it last time and didn't buy it because it ran out of stock. That's my guess.
Yeah, probably. The one thing I didn't like about that game was the insert. That made no sense to me at all. Yeah.
Oh man, I'm having a bad week with inserts. So DR Congo, once you punch your pieces, you can't fit it in the box. So I've had a week.
That was the same thing.
Yeah, there's nothing I hate more than a bad insert. Just give me the stronghold nothing, like a regular cardboard piece, and I'm usually okay.
Yeah, I end up throwing most of the inserts out. Yeah.
I try and keep them because I trade so many games that because I bring in a lot of games and I have to, give them back out so I can make room. I try and keep all the inserts so people don't feel like I'm messing with their stuff, but that one's just horrible.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't understand game companies with that. I mean, Lords of Waterdeep went through that. I have big fingers, so that was just horrible.
It's the worst. Yeah.
And then there's others. It's like the publishers have good intentions. They just always seem to miss.
What Cacao had a horrible insert.
Yeah. Yeah, it did. And sorry, I'm still looking at this chat. I'm going to get it. It's getting personal now.
Lance is going to give you so much crap for that.
I'll get over it. Yeah.
Well, he's at GenCon. Maybe he won't even notice.
Yeah. I don't. This just started happening. It used to come up automatically. I don't know what. Must have been an update or something that knocked it off.
No idea.
Yeah, it used to be automatic.
Oh, I see a Paul.
Paul, yeah, you said what's going on. Hey, Paul.
Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Paul, this is Maggie. Maggie, this is Paul, one of our faithful viewers here on Alaboom.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm a follower of Maggie as well.
Oh. I never know.
Yeah, actually, I am too. I just.
Well, good.
Oh,
Paul Tompkins. Okay, I do know your name. Okay. All I'd heard was Paul before, so I wasn't sure who it was.
If I had the chat up, you would know.
Paul, do you know how to start this chat? Because apparently it is beyond us.
I don't know. Let me see what I can do.
Yeah, I'm looking. It's like I said. This is no. It used to be automatic when you set up the Hangout. Go right over. This must have changed recently. But we will get.
Paul, what are you doing for GenCon while we're looking for chats?
I'm probably gonna play some games with some friends. Nothing official, but I'm following the Twitter feed, and maybe I'll enter a raffle or something.
Yeah, I'm still not sure if like the photo contest. I don't know what I want to do for it.
Oh, yeah, why don't you tell people what that's about, the photo contest?
Let me hold on one second. So I know last year there were a bunch of really funny photos that happened, and they just started getting the hashtag with GenCon on them. People with meeples lined up for the line to get the badges and those kinds of things. And this year they kind of made it either that you enter a raffle for prizes, or you can submit photo for prizes. and those will actually be judged. I am failing at finding this. So this year you can submit your photo as an actual, like an entry that will be judged by others. And I think they're going to get prize pools rather than one single game. You're going to get a bunch of stuff if you win. And I can't find the rules, but...
Okay. That sounds pretty cool.
Should be fun.
If the same shoe's not on here, I'd like to ask her why she started GenCon. I kind of know, but on there, I'd like to ask her.
Yeah, I think she's so busy right now. Next year, she's gonna have to get some help. It's too much. It's crazy.
Yeah, I've seen a list of games that she was just giving away and all that. It is, I'm sure, trying to get all this stuff together.
Right.
And then she's got some local stuff going on too, right?
I'm not sure, because I'm local to Sue's out here. I think we're going to try and drag her out Saturday night, but I'm not sure if she's doing anything else.
Oh, okay.
Just a poor lady. She's busy. She's got kids and stuff, too. Like, she's got a life.
Yeah. Some of us do. Yeah.
Not me. I just play games.
I wish. When I was working, I had no time. Now I got all the time in the world and nobody to play with.
Did you do anything for SoloCon? Jacob was running last week?
No, I just heard about that like 2 days ago. I never even knew it existed. I actually might. I don't know. I feel weird like entering contests that other media creators and all that have.
Sure.
I usually don't tend to do that. Even like at Origins with the beer monger guys, I never entered the raffles or anything like that. I just feel weird.
I think if you're involved in actually making the thing, you don't enter. But other than that, I think more entries are better than not. That's my personal view on it.
Okay. Yeah. All right,
I can't figure out this chat thing at all.
Yeah.
All right, the chat is too much for any of us.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, guys. What I could do is send you to the Hangout, the public view of the Hangout. So I'll tweet out that. Okay, and then we could get you in on the Hangout screen instead of the YouTube channel. See if that'll work.
You're trying that. I think you have to do the chat through the Hangout screen, not the YouTube screen.
No, I used to go through both, and for some reason it's not going through the YouTube. Alright, so...
Man, I gotta Alaboom more often. This is hilarious.
Usually it's run much better because Lance gets Keith to do all the technical stuff.
So what have you been playing, Paul, this last week?
This last week, haven't had much time to play stuff. I've been actually starting to receive a couple of my Kickstarter things that I've done. Like I received Compounded Geiger expansion. That one seems pretty interesting.
How is
Biblios dice. I haven't played it yet. Compounded's interesting.
That's what I meant, Compounded. I never played that one. I heard some good things about it. I just never played it. I don't do Kickstarter, so...
At all?
No Kickstarters at all?
What?
I do... I call them like services, like if Joel has a fundraiser or Marco, something like that. I really don't do games anymore. After the fact, I'll pick them up, and if there's a couple of companies I would automatically if I knew they were doing it, like Stonemeyer and Dice Hate Me,
Yes, sides should be up any time.
Yes. Oh, that's another thing. They have that at GenCon as a demo.
I don't know if they have a demo, but I know they have some concept art and some stuff like that. They're still working, I think.
As
Yeah,
far
I don't
as
know
I
if it's
know,
demo ready.
they're letting some people demo it.
Okay.
Because a couple of my friends in Europe have demoed it.
I didn't know it was demo ready yet. Yeah.
It might be just a couple of people. It might be like an invite thing.
Like a play test, kind of, more
Mhm.
so.
Yeah, I heard it's going to be like pretty bare bones prototype,
They're taking their time with that one. Wait, I think it's probably a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's from what the way the mechanics and all sound, that could be messed up really easily. Yeah, I think that's why I don't do Kickstarters. I feel a lot of the games, they aren't, I call it, baked long enough. That there's not enough play testing done to them. Usually the rules are horrible, written, the rule books,
You just got to be pretty selective. There's a lot of people that have gotten pretty good at it. There's some companies that are pretty solid at it, actually. I mean, like you said, Dice Hate Me. They're pretty good. Sometimes they're a little late on stuff, but indie boards and cards, Cool Mini or Not. I mean, a lot of these companies are getting real solid Kickstarter game.
Yeah.
I agree with that. You kind of have to. You're kickstarting based on who and how they're doing stuff. If they're ready to go to production the second that they start their Kickstarter campaign, it feels a lot better than people that don't even know how to submit art files to Panda or whatever. So you're putting your faith into the people behind the company, not necessarily the game itself.
Okay.
It's very rare I'll back something of a creator that has never done a Kickstarter before.
Or not even if a creator has never backed anything, I'm very hesitant to. Because if they don't even know how it feels or works, or if they're not involved in seeing updates and that kind of stuff, I don't trust them with my money.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Though I stepped in it the other day, I was talking about there's a campaign for it's Iki or Ike. I was on Twitter. I was like, they've never backed anything. They've never put out anything. They don't even have a video out. And one of the creators of the game actually tweeted at me. They're like, no, I've got this public profile over here. I've backed a ton of things. Like, here's my video. And then Rado put out his video for the game this morning. I was like, okay, mea culpa, I swear. I didn't know.
Well, good to call them out sometimes.
Yeah, and the game looks really good, and I wish I had the cash right now to back some more games. But
well, I mean, there's gonna be so much stuff coming out on Kickstarter in the next week or so because so many people have decided that GenCon's a time to release their Kickstarters.
It is not the time.
It is not.
No.
BGG, Essen, and GenCon are the worst times to release a Kickstarter, but they don't understand that because they get all that free press, and they're really excited to start.
Yeah, Chris Cartman will tell you that GenCon is not the time to do a Kickstarter.
Yeah, well, everybody's money's already tied up in all these new games, so how are you supposed to back something?
Yeah.
Right. The last thing I backed was The Gallerist, but I was going to back that no matter when it came out, but there's very, very few games that could come out right now that I would back.
Okay.
Backing New Bedford right now. That one looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I had a case of the feels. I had to back out of that one. They had like whale song in the video, and I was done. Oh boy. And I don't knock them for putting that theme into a game. I think it's perfectly fine to put whatever theme you want into a game, but I just personally couldn't do it. I just couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a touchy subject for some people. I mean, I look at it as it being a part of our history.
It's historical.
Yeah.
Sure, but they had whale song in the video.
Whale song to go hunt the whale. I mean, yeah.
Well, Can't say they have good taste, but we do have a question. It came up while I was trying to figure out how to put the chat up.
Do you have a chat?
No, they got on through the Hangout.
Okay.
So it's from Erwin.
Oh, hi, Erwin.
He says, so now that you've taken over the Alaboom, what's the real dirt on Lance? Now's your chance. Lance is actually a troll. He's about 3 feet tall. He lives under a bridge. No, I'm kidding. Lance is a great guy. So is all them guys, like I said before.
Lance is a giant teddy bear, and he never wants anyone to know that.
Yeah, pretty much. I know he comes off as elitist at times, but he's really not. He's just very particular. Well, he's played, 3,000 games or something, he said. I'm pretty sure I'd be a little picky on what I played at that point, too.
Well, and his tastes have definitely shifted in the last couple of years. I've been a follower of Lance for a really long time, and he went from playing a decent amount of Euros to playing mostly Ameritrash at this point.
Yeah.
Which
kids games with his daughter, of course.
Right.
Oh yeah.
His daughter and everything is getting right about to the age where those will start being his favorite games, whatever she'll play. And so she's a D&D nut at the moment, right?
Well, yeah, they did start a campaign. I think he had to back away because she lost interest a little bit, but...
Well, she's a kid.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
Still working on the chat, guys. By the time maybe I'll figure it out.
Yeah, Erwin said on Twitter that he saw the blue peg, pink peg people playing Scythe at GenCon, so they're definitely demoing it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I heard that from a few people. Apparently, Jamie's got a room or sharing a room with somebody or something like that, and that's where they're at. Like I said, I heard it was a real bare bones type of thing. For the viewers, I did tweet out the link to get into the... It's not the private one where we're actually on, but it links to this. And that's on Twitter, at Gateway Gamer. Alright, so still working on the chat. Like I said, getting personal.
And since those guys aren't here, we should probably mention that Travis from Action Phase Games, has Ninja Camp up on Kickstarter right now.
Yeah. Do me a favor, do it in about 10 minutes, then about 5 minutes after that. 15 after that.
Yeah. Well, once is more than it was probably going to happen, so there you go, Travis.
Yeah, he's a good guy. Yeah, just like messing.
Oh, yeah, he's great.
So what have you been up to, Paul?
Not a whole lot. Like I said, I'm starting to receive some Kickstarters. I'm pretty happy about that. Because this seems the time where they're starting to come in now because everybody wants their games to be able to sell at GenCon. I just got an email yesterday that I should be getting Tesla versus Edison this week, and I'm pretty hyped on that one.
Yeah, I heard that's a real good game. It's just a table hog.
That was one I miss out on completely. I saw the campaign vaguely in Twitter, I think, but I didn't even look into it at the time.
It looks very Power Grid like, but it looks good.
Yeah. I knew it had a lot of people behind it.
Lance was talking that one up a great deal a while ago, when it was on Kickstarter, I believe. We'll see. Maybe later on I'll pick it up. If you can. That's another thing with the Kickstarters. You never know if they will go to the stores.
That one will probably make it to
Yeah.
retail.
It's
I would
already in
assume
pre-orders,
how big it
guys.
was. Yeah,
Mhm.
how big it was. I'd imagine so.
So the funny thing is, it's not how large the campaign is. It's really about whether or not they know how to get into stores. This is my day job talking, but a lot of the time I get emails from people who want me to buy games from them directly. They don't know what the discount for a retail store is generally, and then they want me to put it on a credit card.
Oh wow.
You have to kind of look at these people and just say, no one wants to PayPal you money for a store. Like, that's not a thing. But it happens a lot.
Yeah. I actually work as my second job. I work at a comic book store, and we don't actually sell board games yet. But my boss wants me to maybe start the board game thing at the comic store. But right now it's a pure comic store. It's like very.
Yeah, but if he sells magic, he can keep the lights on longer.
He doesn't even sell magic.
What?
He doesn't even want to touch magic.
That's how you make all your
comics,
money.
And he makes really decent money. We're probably one of the highest rated comic stores in our city.
Cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
But,
I love comics, but magic will keep like your utilities on. Like that's if you have any space for them to come and play, you'll have people
that's
for
the problem
days.
is we don't have playing space.
Ah, that's a little rougher.
Yeah, because the way he markets the comic store, everything's just so visible. The comics are so visible. He doesn't spine the books. Everything's facing outwards.
Holy moly!
You see the art. Everything pops out. It's a beautiful store. But it's
cool.
just we wouldn't have the room to do gaming really. We'd have to do gaming somewhere else. But he's interested in maybe going into selling games, and he wants me to kind of figure that out. And that's something I don't know yet, but I'm starting to look into.
Well, and if you have a nearby pub or cafe or something that you could make a deal with, maybe. But from my experience,
that's what we were thinking.
People aren't gonna pay like retail prices on a game unless they got to learn or play it, somewhere. Otherwise, they're just gonna buy it from Amazon.
I mean, we do have quite a few local stores in our town too. So it's kind of like a try it out thing and see how it would work.
Yeah. Well, if you ever want to move that offline and chat with me about it, I'm always available.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. I mean, I live in Las Vegas, so I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on in this town.
And gaming in Las Vegas is a little funky. It's kind of a weird scene out there, from what I know.
We have some fairly large gaming stores, and they're
that's what I'm saying.
They're doing very well.
Especially this month and next month, you'll probably be doing very well during the tourist season.
Yeah. Sure. And we are very close to the Strip, actually, so. And that actually helps us selling the comic books, because there's a lot of people from out of the country that they'll come to the U.S. and then they get the U.S. prices on the comic books and they go nuts.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's really good. Anytime you meet an Australian, I bet they go crazy.
Yeah, they go crazy. Europeans, I mean, even Canadians are happy to get them cheaper.
Yeah, Australia has some really weird import fees and stuff for gaming and comics and anything entertainment. So unless it's made in Australia, they're paying crazy prices. Sorry, I'm getting Facebook messages and stuff about this.
Yeah.
I turned my mic back on. So, yeah, that is surprising. I know a lot of, motor stores. They do most of their money off of Magic.
There's actually 2 stores here that I see do really well with Magic. There's another store here that doesn't. They sell Magic cards, but they don't do anything with the Magic, and they actually do really well. It's just the area of town they're in. There's nothing else, so they do well because of that, I believe. Las Vegas is a really spread out town. It's big in area. Like it's just flat and wide. It's just like 30 miles from one end of town to the other end of town.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Yeah, Seattle literally has lakes and like physical restraints on each of the neighborhoods, so you basically live or work inside specific neighborhoods and you never really make it out.
Yeah, all we have here is dirt. And hot, just heat emanating from everything.
And air conditioning, blessed air conditioning.
Air conditioning everywhere, it's a must.
It's 80 degrees out here right now. I'm dying.
Do you have air conditioning?
There's no air conditioning in Seattle.
Huh.
Yes, that is rough.
Here it's 104, so...
But it's a dry heat. I hear that from people out there all the time.
Still
Dry
hell.
heat.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. It actually got pretty hot over here in Delaware. My wife trying to get the air conditioner in. It's just I can't help my wife with my back being the way it is. So waiting for my brother to come down, but I told her a couple more days like this I'm going down the shore where it's cooler. She's on her own. Yeah. The humidity messes with my back, so that's why we got to get that air conditioner in as quickly as we can. Yeah. I'm at a loss with this chat. It's starting to piss me off now.
I think maybe it's time to give up.
Yeah, maybe. Alright. I tried, guys. I'll have to see what's going on with that later, though. Sue's actually emailed me asking her to help her set one up. Yeah. It would be nice if I knew exactly what was going on with that.
That's true. I think she's doing something Saturday, so there's a couple days.
Yeah. I'm free till Friday night, I think, so I get that, it's no big deal. So, Paul, what are you excited coming out of GenCon?
There's a couple things. There's definitely I want to check out Discoveries, the Lewis and Clark one. It's kind of like a Lewis and Clark dice game, I guess.
I forgot all about that one. Yeah.
The one from Cool Mini or Not, the Grizzled?
Blood Rage?
No, the Grizzled.
Yeah.
It's the one that, like, the artist, the Charlie Hebdo artist did, and they picked it up, which is like a very not Cool Mini or Not type of game.
Right.
I believe it's a card game, like a small card game.
I think they have Queen's Necklace and that as their like Cool Mini or Not that aren't mini games. Like it's I can't remember what they called it, but it was like a whole other line of games for them. I'm excited about Queen's Necklace though.
Yeah, Queen's Necklaces. That's a cool.
What was that one about? I remember hearing about it. I just can't remember what it was.
The old Days of Wonder game.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah,
I think
it's a reprint. It's Bruno Casella, Bruno Faituti. Like it should be really good.
Okay. Anything else there, Paul?
There's all kinds of stuff. Let me look at
I'm glad he's excited. We're all like, oh, there's.
well, I mean, there's definitely some. I mean, there's always new stuff that I'm excited to get. I mean.
Yeah, it's. Lance posted some.
I mean, it's kind of lackluster, but I mean, there's definitely things coming out.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, and this afternoon I got an invite to the online version of Ortus Regni, which is a card game that came out a couple years ago. So I'm looking forward to trying that. I'm trying to get it to download right now, but.
Yeah, that's if it's the one I'm thinking of. It's a pretty cool game. The one There's like no text on most of the decks. It's just it was a
Right.
pretty cool game. It's a lot similar to chess, I guess, in a sense. It was a pretty cool game.
It's tactical, but
Yeah.
I played that, and I also have a game in my collection from Essen last year called Ortis Arena, which was really confusing that they both had the same name. But Ortis Arena is amazing.
Never. Let's look that one up.
The Valley of the Kings expansion.
Oh, the Afterlife.
Yeah, that should be out.
I've heard
Anytime.
very mixed reviews on the Valley of the Kings.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's like a mini deck builder, but it's just the way it is in this pyramid that kind of crumbles. Like
Clever as
it's
hell.
a cool way, yeah.
Yeah. That game is neat. And it sold out, and I really wish they had just kept it in print. It's AEG. They should have just been able to, like, print it out.
Well, I think it's back in print because it is AEG. I've
is not.
seen them around at I've seen them at Barnes and Noble, which is
Well, so here's the thing with Barnes and Noble is they have Dead of Winter in stock right now because they buy pallets worth.
Right.
So little stores like yours and mine will not have access to
Yeah.
that. Just to drive me crazy. I go to Barnes and Noble and get all like ragey.
Yeah, I don't go to them too much.
Spirits of the Rice Paddy is another one coming out from Ape Games. Philip DeBerry.
But as far as I know, they didn't make it to GenCon. I think they had some issue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like a last minute problem, which sucks.
Yeah, it does. I know.
Yeah,
for
I mean,
a lot of-
I backed that one as well, and it says that we should be getting it late August. So I mean, I guess it doesn't quite count as a. I'm sure they'll have demos of it, but.
I backed that one, and I almost backed the floating market, which should also be out at Gen Con, but I didn't quite get the appeal of floating market. Did you guys see that one?
Is that
I did
the one
see that
where
one.
they only made like 2,000 copies of it or something?
Yeah, it's
No.
it's the
The Fleet guys.
dice one. Yeah, the dice one from the Fleet guys.
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't quite get what was gonna feel different or fresh about it. It kind of just looked like game number 4. But I should probably not say that because I haven't played it, but it just didn't quite have the appeal for me.
Yeah.
Among the Stars Revival, 2-player Among the Stars.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it as a drafting game. It's fun.
not
Go
a
to
bad
the
play
space
yet.
station. I mean, I don't know how it's gonna be as a 2-player game.
I liked it okay. It was fine. I like it better than Seven Wonders, which is good.
Seven Wonders is good because it plays so many people.
I'd rather
Yeah.
play anything else though. Like I'd rather play Shadowhunters than Seven Wonders.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Seven Wonders, you're still only playing 2 people. You know,
Yeah.
no matter how many people are playing, you're only playing 2.
Though I'm excited about the Seven Wonders duel. I think that's probably
Yeah.
at Gen Con for at least demo. I want to try it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
that'll be-
I just really like the 2-player game, so that's why like maybe the Among the Stars Revival is a 2-player, and then of course that Seven Wonders duel.
Did you buy Trombone yet?
I actually just ordered it today.
I feel like it might be a little light for me, but it looks interesting. I was watching the one tar kind of talk about it.
And I saw it was a helmet only. The guy that did Russian Railroads and a couple 18xx games. I like Russian Railroads, so I mean, I'll check it out.
Russian Railroads has a very unique place in my heart and my collection. I've never had a game that was just so much. It's literally just so much fun to score in that game.
Yeah, just because the points ramp up so crazy. It's like all of a sudden you have 80 points, and then next round you have like 300 points.
Right. I score 150 points this round, and it's so unique that way, and not in a hokey way.
Okay. All right, I'm done. All right.
Yeah, I'm just going down the BGG.
Yeah, I was
List
doing
and
that.
seeing anything that interests me. I like the little blue-orange two-player games. I mean, they're like quick little abstract fillers that are like 10 minutes long.
Like
but,
Longhorn or?
yeah, like Longhorn, Wakanda. I know that they say that's a GenCon release, but I don't know. I bought that a couple months ago.
Well, their release dates are always a little funky anyway.
Yeah, and I mean sometimes the games are a little harder to find too. Or it seems like it takes a while for like some of my local stores to get them in.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
And I mean,
how do you
Oh,
guys buy games? I'm curious about that with other people. Like with me, if it's one or two, I'll go to my local store. But if it's something bulk, I'll usually go online. Just curious how you guys shop.
I mean, I buy mostly. I try to support local stores. I mean, I do buy stuff online. Like I said, I kickstart. I actually kickstart a lot of stuff. It's just one of those. It's a weird habit I have, where I'm spending a bunch of money for games I won't get for months later, and then once a couple months happen, and then all of a sudden you get like 3 or 4 games in a month, and you're like, yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at. I spend more on if they're in print in the States, I'll buy them at stores. That's just my soapbox thing is you buy where you play. So if I play at stores, I'm going to buy games from them. But a lot of the games I play are not available in the States, so I have to go through Fun Again or Game Surplus or any of those little like importers. And
yeah,
then
I just started ordering from Game Surplus, and I'm liking them a lot.
Zelda's amazing.
Yeah. They had a problem where something didn't come in right, and she's like, "Oh, we'll free ship you this, and you get a discount on this." And I was like,
My
"Cool."
only problem, yeah, they have like ding and dents. I love ding and dent sales because you can get some amazing titles. I just got Fresh Fish, which no one can get anywhere, and I got it for like $55. So I was pretty happy about it.
Actually, that was the one that they messed up on was
no.
not that one specifically, but it was a ding and dent Las Vegas Boulevard, the Las Vegas expansion.
Yeah.
I was trying to get that from them, but they're like, "Oops, we accidentally sold that to somebody else or something."
Right.
And they like gave me a discount on something else. I'm gonna try what's that one? Worse Sin Dasfold.
See, that's 2 players. I don't play that many 2 players, so I hope it's really good. It was nominated for the Portuguese Game of the Year, so I pay attention to those awards really closely, but I don't play enough 2 players to warrant buying it.
Well, I didn't even know there was a Portuguese Game of the Year.
Oh,
wow.
That's my jam right there. It's like
they're the heavy hitters.
Kanban, Arkwright. Oh no, I'm forgetting the rest. I remember last year it was Colon Colony, and they always just have the heaviest of Euros.
They're heavy games, yeah.
So good.
Arkwright is one I'd like to try.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I heard a lot of good things about it.
It's so good. It's so worth $100. Just you gotta do it.
I don't think it'll go over well with my gaming, but maybe we'll see. Yeah.
Just trick them into it. Have it set up by the time they get there.
Yeah. Well, they do heavier Euros. I mean, it's not that. We're a little time constricted, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one might be a time problem.
Yeah, they usually get there around 6, you know, and then usually by 10 o'clock we're starting to funnel out. 11 at the latest, you know. Unless a couple of us, you know, stay and get drunk, but.
I'm guilty of playing till 1 a.m. a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
If it were the weekends, I'm sure we would. Usually it's Tuesday nights, you know.
Right. I'm talking Tuesday night. So.
Yeah. I work so early. On the weekends I'm able to play, but it's just I'm not great at meeting new people, so I'm having a tougher time kind of finding people to game with. I have a friend that I've been gaming with for a while, but he's been going through some chemotherapy stuff, and sometimes he just can't play.
Right. That makes sense.
I hope everything works out with him.
I hope so too.
Yeah,
and then my girlfriend's probably my main gaming partner, so that's why we get a lot of two-player games in.
Yeah, I can see that. Jen's my main gaming partner, you know.
She's actually just getting home, so I'm going to have to stop for just a second and say hi to her.
It would be nice.
Yeah, that's probably good.
Doghouse.
Yeah, I'll be back in just a moment.
Cole says something. I was going to ask a question about, and I can't think of it now. That going is quick. That going. that fast.
Oh, I don't know if Matt's listening, but yeah, I got fresh fish. I will be able to talk about it after this weekend.
Okay.
So a couple weeks back, I was talking on Twitter with people about the fact that I played some Freedom and Freeze, and I didn't really love most of what I played from him, like Fearsome Floors and those types of games. But I liked Power Grid okay, like it's a really solid game. And I liked Copycat a lot more than I thought I would. And since then, people keep telling me that I've got to play this and play that and play this. So now I own Felix the Cat in the Sack, which is a really light, weird bidding game. Mm-hmm. And I just recently got Fresh Fish in. So okay. I'm on a crusade to try and find some more Freedom and Freeze that I like.
All right. I'm in the same situation. Power Grid.
I mean,
I think
who doesn't like Power Grid?
I'm actually not fond of it. Yeah, it's a very dry theme for me.
Oh, okay.
I do want to. I got it very early in my gaming endeavor, and I want to try it again now because my tastes have changed. Like we were talking about the Gateway Gamer thing. I should have thought about that a little longer before I named the channel. But I haven't played a Gateway game in so long. Yeah.
I don't have anyone left in my life to buy Gateway games for. All my friends are gamers. I have no need for it.
I still do the family. Like we're on. It's like 3 different tiers there. I got like the brand new ones, the more of the casual ones, and then my sister and my wife, they can handle heavier ones.
Yeah.
It's still that, and my wife likes a lot of silly games. She bought a game called Poop and Origins.
Oh dear.
And I actually pissed her off. She was all excited. She was telling me how to play, and I looked at the first card and read it. I'm like, no. She got really upset over that.
I don't know what it is about poo jokes. There's so many games that use that as a thing. I don't want to play that. No one wants to play that.
But that's her sense of humor. That's how she is. Party games, she loves them. I'm not a huge fan of them. Some of them, but not a whole lot. Yeah.
I like some party games. I'm a little more picky about those than most types of games. The cockroach poker of the world, that's my style of party game, but I don't have that many.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like games that make you do stupid things. Yeah. It's
yeah, no cranium over here, so.
What are you guys talking about? Party games?
Party games.
Codenames looks cool.
I have someone bringing that back for me.
You got a
Password
mule.
was one of my favorite game shows, so I'm excited to try it.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things from everybody I talked to about that one. Yeah. I think that might be the game of the con. That and Ashes.
I think Ashes is gonna be the game.
Ashes looks ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
I've been watching Rodney's plays of it.
The artist is going to be there. Fernanda. Fernanda. Can't remember her name now, but I was surprised. She lives in Brazil. If I remember, I was surprised she's going to make it. But, yeah. Some lucky people might get some artwork from her.
Cool.
Yeah, that all fascinates. I'm not a very artistic person at all. That fascinates me. How people are so quick at it. Even a game, like there's duplicates in Ashes, but there's got to be 100 different pieces of art in that game, maybe more. Yeah.
And the artwork for Dead of Winter was really good. I mean, she did that as well.
Yes, she did. Yeah.
Well, you saw their announcement today, right? They're part of the Philosophia Z-Man family now. Plaid Hat.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
I saw something briefly on that. I didn't read anything about it, though. But yeah, I did see something briefly about that.
I'm not surprised. I mean, they've just knocked it out of the park since Summoner Wars hit, and then Mice and Mystics, and just everything they've touched has been well done and well promoted. And if they could just get their production and manufacturing in line, Plaid Hat's going to be huge.
Oh yeah, yeah. They got a very good business sense down there.
Yeah, I mean, this year is going to be so big for them. I mean, I think Ashes is going to be a hit, and then once the next Plaid Hat, I mean, the next Mice and Mystics game, like the Tail Feathers, that's going to be crazy.
Next year is going to be a really great year for them. I was talking to Isaac a couple weeks ago after the hangout, and they got or before the hangout, they got quite a few things coming out next year.
I think the Mouse Guard box set that's coming out is actually going to help Mice and Mystics, so I'm excited to see what happens this year.
Yep. Yeah, it should be interesting. Yeah. And we'll see what I know Summoner Wars is slowly dying off, they just don't have the fan base.
It's not. I mean, they just released all that new one, the Alliances.
Yeah,
but
but
Alliances tanked.
Yeah.
Did it tank?
At retail, not Kickstarter wise, but at retail.
Well, they don't Kickstarter.
Okay, I remember people talking about the game a lot, and then it came out and it sort of sold like I think my giant beautiful store sold like 3 copies.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah, Colby said before that every release is getting less than the previous release. They're selling less than the previous release. It's slowly dying.
Mage Wars killed Summoner Wars easily.
Yeah, I can see that.
And Mage Wars doesn't even do that well. It's just people were looking for a system, and Mage Wars is so much spikier and so much easier to build competitive decks for that there's just no comparison. Summoner Wars has too much luck.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. But yeah, I think they're hoping Ashes will pick up the slack from Summoner Wars. And I know I just got quite a few, expansions in his head, already working on some of them.
Sure.
He's created a whole world for this thing, It was amazing the thought he put into it. Yeah.
I mean, that whole group of guys, I mean, him doing that, and then I can't think of his name, the other guy that does all the Mice and Mystic stuff, I mean,
yeah.
It's just, Jerry, yeah. I mean, like, the worlds they create are pretty insane.
But it's so outside my normal gaming that I only know about it for work, really. But it's a really cool thing that they're doing. I just hope they can keep stuff in print this time.
Yeah, that was a fluke. I don't think they were expecting what Dead of Winter did.
Yeah, but by now I should have them available, and I don't.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I guess it's tough for a publisher to decide how many they want to print on the first run. I'm sure they don't want too much in case it tanks.
It's the second run though that by then they should have known just to print the heck out of it. But maybe they just didn't have the cash.
It could be.
I don't know.
It could be. It could have been the manufacturer too. They just.
Right.
Well, yeah, there's so many games being made now that, like, and so many people buying games, like, how do you know what the demand's going to be on something?
I am first to admit that that's really tricky. It's just because right now the only place in Seattle I could go and purchase a copy of Dead of Winter is Barnes & Noble. It kind of drives me nuts.
Yeah, I could actually find it at 2 different stores here that are not big chain stores, but
That's good.
I mean that might be a fluke too.
Well, it might be that they've had it since the last time it was available in distribution.
That might be true. I think the one store ordered a ridiculous amount of copies.
We tried. The distribution for board games is sometimes really weird. They allocate. They choose an amount and then give all stores an equal amount, no matter how many you order. It's a weird business.
I understand that sometimes that happens with comic books as well.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
I think Wicked and Divine did that for a while.
Yeah, I mean, like some of the smaller ones. I mean, like the Image stuff with the lower print runs. I mean,
That makes sense.
it's going to be like that.
All right. Well, yeah, like I said, hopefully they'll do very well, in the future. But Z-Man kind of pissed me off. With Pandemic. It's something I never let go. It was like when Z actually sold it to Sophie and them, and they changed the Pandemic because they wanted to move the city, Montreal. So they reprinted. That's my thing. They reprinted the whole thing, making the expansions not compatible and stuff like that.
They're like second edition?
Yeah, the second edition. And at the time, I didn't realize that that's kind of a common thing in the board game hobby. Like I said, it was early in my gaming.
Well, Z-Man had some problems with some stuff being in print for a while too.
Yeah.
Z-Man continues to have that problem.
Yeah, and then which games they decide to keep in print and not keep in print, it always makes no sense to me.
And they're exclusive to one distributor, which drives me nuts. But I won't rail on them because they do amazing things. Most of my games are Z-Man or Rio Grande, so I love Z-Man, but they can't keep things in print to save their lives.
Yeah, but I mean, why did they let stuff go out of print that there's obviously demand for?
Because they are on this conservative kick where they only print, X amount, no matter how popular something seems, because they think they get screwed over on some of their riskier stuff like Tragedy Looper and those types of titles, and they're sitting on 1,000 copies of Tragedy Looper right now, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a really good game.
I love it. I own it.
Such a hard thing to grasp. It's great, but
yeah.
Man, Code of Nine is probably being demoed right now. Bakafire just joined Twitter, so I'm really excited.
Okay.
But Z-Man, they keep losing titles too. I kind of feel bad. They gained the Carcassonne license and let it go out of print. They gained the Agricola and Le Havre licenses, let those go out of print, and they lost things like Saboteur, like little somethings. And I wonder if that wasn't helping them kind of stay afloat.
Maybe, I don't know.
It's just some of like the heavier Euros that I want to get, but I just can't find for under like $90.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Brussels or.
I don't like Brussels.
I did find a couple of. I did find a copy of Trois at a local store, and I did pick that up for a decent price. But
I don't like Trois either. There's something about those games. They have the same artist, but
I like both. They've got their things that are interesting about them.
That's true.
They're fun puzzles.
Brussels has that weird like you take the space, but it's also bidding on the column. I like that part.
Yeah, that's cool, and then like how you can own like different people have the spaces and get a benefit from you using the space. I mean, there's some cool stuff to it.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to explore the game more. I played it with some friends, but I can't get my own copy, so I can't explore it anymore.
I get you, Bo. Yeah, kind of similar boat. I know it's tough for some people. You gotta get out there.
Well, I mean, it's not that. It's more just like I can't get the game.
Well, yeah. I mean, even if you could, with me, like you were saying, if I don't have the game, a lot of times the guys I play would do. But it is tough finding people that have the same likes and stuff like that. You know.
I'm spoiled. Seattle is amazing and has a lot of gamers, so I don't have trouble finding the people, but I'm generally the buyer of the games. If I don't have it, most people won't.
Yeah, I heard Seattle is pretty hot with gaming. Not here. Yeah. I go there. There is one around the corner, a gaming group. I want to try it again. I live near a college town, and I went to this once, and I just don't get the sense of humor from these college kids, so I didn't go back. But I'm going to try it again. But most of my gaming with the group, other than my family, is up in Pennsylvania. You know.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But thinking about a guy game with up in PA. He's got a game group down there in Baltimore, or outside of Baltimore. I might try down there one weekend.
Yeah, those are some long treks for you, man.
Nah, not really. Baltimore's about 45 minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
yeah, I mean, I complain about going to the other side of town. So.
Me too. Like, what do you mean?
I mean, that's the problem is there's nothing around my neighborhood. I want to be able to walk somewhere where I can go play some games with some friends.
Yeah, well, like I said, there is that one. It's like a mile from my house, and I may try it again, but we'll see.
It's just younger guys that are just wacky or something.
I don't know if that's always the case or it was just at one time. You know, like I said, that was like an open game thing, you know, game day on a Saturday. I actually think it was tabletop day, if I remember right.
Oh, well, that's going to be chaos.
Yeah, my tabletop day, I went out and I publicly gamed with people I didn't know, and we got all the way through Castle Verde except for the last round, and then the people left. It was cruel and not okay. Never again.
I helped out at a local store and basically demoed Dead of Winter for like 6 hours. And that game is no fun to demo.
No.
I mean, I actually don't mind the game itself. I don't play it that often, but demoing it, mind-numbing.
Yeah, that's awful.
I mean, especially on tabletop day for people that have never played a game before, and then that, and it's got some fiddliness to it.
Sounds awful.
But it was fun. I helped out at a store, and I had a decent time. It was just that was a little mind-numbing for that 6 hours.
Yeah, I can imagine. But yeah, I'd like to. You know, I have gamed 12, 15 hours straight. You know, and that doesn't bother me. But
I don't mind that. It's just demoing the same game over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, I can see that being grueling. Yeah.
I don't like demoing at cons. Like,
I mean, it depends on the game too. I think I think Dead of Winter was not the one for me to demo.
That sounds like a torture. Like demoing Alchemists would be my nightmare. That's my nightmare. But demoing something I can teach in 5 minutes, I'm happy to do that.
Oh yeah, I mean, I could give me a couple gateways and I'll show like 20 people. Like I'll just jump around showing people how to play games. That's not a problem.
Yeah, BGGCon I demoed for Crash Games, so I was demoing like Yardmaster.
Oh,
I'll do that all day,
great.
every day. Here's your cards. But even teaching something like Dead of Winter or Alchemist or any of those like super fiddly things to people that don't know anything about them before they get to the table, that's a nightmare.
Yeah.
Did it again. I forgot about the mic being off. I'm sure. My kitten's making a little noise over here. Yeah, I'm sure that would be a tough game to demo. Yeah, like I don't know how. Like we're saying, Tragedy Looper. That's a very tough game to teach. I don't know how they demoed that.
Yeah, I don't know about demoing that. No way. I would never volunteer for that.
I taught it when I barely knew it, and that was awful. And it was to friends of mine. It was like, it was the worst.
Yeah, it's one I want to get to the family because I think they'd enjoy it once they do get it, you know. But that's what's stopping me teaching the rules.
The guided first adventure thing is kind of cool, but you have to teach it without giving away information, and it's just really hard to do.
Yeah, they should have created like some kind of like mini like just a really mini basic thing.
Yeah.
To just for demoing or showing you like something in the book that just told you like ran you through the whole thing and like how to do it.
Did you run the like first adventure they have written in there?
Yeah, I mean, and that's a little too. There's too much going on still for that. I mean,
it blew my mind. Woo.
Yeah, it's like learning two different games when you're trying to teach it. You gotta learn the mastermind side and then the other one.
It is two different games.
Yeah.
And at the same time, you can't give away too much mastermind information to the people learning the other side because you want them to actually have to deduce things in the first game, and it just doesn't work. That's the worst first game ever.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that how that hurts the sales of something like that. I mean, if you can't teach it to somebody, then how are the hell are you going to sell it?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think they should have had a video tutorial. You know.
Yeah, I mean, a video tutorial, a basic, like just kind of easy, like, hey, this is how it works.
I would have appreciated like a 5-step mini game that you just.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, you mastermind like 3 steps, and then they guess 3 steps, and then you're done, and then you go into the first game.
Yeah, but it is a good game. Yeah. I'm surprised. I was talking to Aldi about that. These Japanese games. Why so many haven't came to America is because there's so small print runs over there. I was surprised to hear about that. Like he was saying, there's a couple hundred, let alone a couple thousand. You know.
Well, they do a lot of their manufacturing in Japan, or they do it. They don't use China the same way that we do because they have kind of a different relationship with China than we do.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, Oink Games is one of the first ones that really branched out and made lots of copies of their games. That's why you start seeing them make deals with Board Game Geek and stuff.
Yeah, and I heard they're pretty interesting. I was looking at a couple to Oink Games, but they were sold out before I pulled the trigger.
I've played Deep Sea Adventure and Dungeon of Mandom and a few others like Troll and.
I got Deep Sea Adventure.
I like of all of the ones that I've tried, Deep Sea Adventure is the one that I would suggest that they go wide on. Like that one, you could sell that to anyone. It's a really solid game.
Yeah, like a slightly co-op competitive.
A weird press your luck, but not in a boring way.
Yeah.
And interesting bits.
Yeah, they are. But
I mean, just the different way that Japan is and how they don't have the room to maybe store a game collection like a giant game collection like an American game collection would be.
As you sit behind your giant stack of
games.
Well, I'm sure it's just like not everybody has 300-400 games like we do, but I'm sure there's people.
I keep mine below 200, thank you.
I'm actually not sure how many I have.
I just redid my collection. It's 175.
Yeah, I probably need to clear out some junk.
It feels really good to clear out a couple.
I have some I'm trying to get rid of. How do you guys go about doing that? Do you trade them off? Do you like sell them off at Board Game Geek or to friends or?
Yes.
Okay.
I'd just probably give them to friends. I mean,
yeah.
Even that. I mean, just try to even get some people into it by giving it to them.
It depends on the game and how hard it was to come by and how much I didn't like it. If I didn't like it, I want my money back.
Right. Mm-hmm.
If I liked a game, like there was a Korean game called King's Pouch, which is like this weird bag builder, and I liked it. It just didn't have very many plays in it. It had like 4. So I gave it to a friend just for like shipping costs. But for a game like Deus, which I felt deserved to be a better game, I charged money for it.
Okay.
I never even messed with Deus because I'm colorblind, and I heard
whoa.
that would be an issue with that one, so I just didn't even try.
Don't worry, it's not that good. No, I'm an Imperial Settlers fan, so it's hard for me to play anything that is like Imperial Settlers but blah blah blah.
Oh, you mean the card comboing stuff?
Yeah, it just microtransactions and card comboing. And this one had like a board control element that I hope whomever I sold, I don't remember, I think it was my friend Ryan sold that too. I hope he likes it, but that wasn't for me.
Now, did you like 51st State, Maggie?
I love 51st State.
Okay.
But the problem with 51st State is that no one will play it with you.
Right.
My play has less than 6 copies. Or my copy has less than 6 plays. It's been sitting on my shelf just being sad forever.
Really?
Aren't they like gonna re-release it all together in like one big box kind of thing?
Yes, they are. And I'm gonna buy that too.
That's what I'm waiting for.
It's short. It's not going to be like all of them put together. They're going to cull it down a little bit, but yeah, it's going to be a big box.
I like because I didn't like all the factions they did, and I liked the new era better than I liked the original because they got rid of some of the leaders and stuff. But
okay, I can never get New Era, so I don't know.
Oh man, it's so good.
Yeah, that one went out of print before I could get it.
Oh really?
Yeah.
No, it's still in print. You're crazy.
You should still be able to find it, yeah.
Nah, I had a very hard time.
I was like, I think I have 2 copies down at my shop. But I do like it. I like what they tried to do, even though the factions I didn't think were as balanced as Imperial Settlers were. You couldn't play the hegemony against New York. Like, you couldn't play some factions against each other. But Imperial Settlers, I can get anyone to play with me, and the factions are really balanced. So I ended up just kind of playing that one instead.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I like the theme of 51st State better than Imperial Settlers. I think if they stay with the theme with Imperial Settlers, with 51st State, I think I would like it a lot better. But I do like Imperial Settlers. So does my wife. Yeah. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
And I was going to say I am looking forward to getting the expansion.
Yes, I'm so excited. Any day now. I guess Tuesday I'll have mine. I'm really excited.
Yeah, and I hope Ignacy does well. I know this is like he's putting a lot into this con. Yeah. Yeah,
and I feel bad that
I don't know about the Rattle Battle game.
It's not good. It's not good.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of things. A lot of mixed reviews on that one.
But it is pretty.
Yeah, we'll see.
Tide to Time looks cool. I'll check that one out.
Yeah, I'm excited about that because I don't like Love Letter. I don't like any of the Love Letter type games. So.
Oh, I'm not the only one. Okay.
No, those aren't meant for gamers.
Yeah.
I don't mind it, but yeah, it's not the best.
I mean, it's like playing Citadels with the base game. It's hard for me. I just don't understand why they're so popular.
Yeah, that's the only reason I got it was because of all the hype on it, and Machikoro the same thing. I bought it because of all the hype, and they weren't such a great success with me.
To be fair, I liked Machikoro. It's just not for me. I didn't have a place for my life, but I liked it in general.
I enjoy it with the expansion. The base game, that's
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's just like Love Letter, the price point and how quick it plays. It's easy to teach somebody that game, and it's easy for them to get it, and they'll just play.
I agree with that. I would rather play things like Cockroach Poker and No Thanks, or these little, card games, but
those aren't always available as much, though.
Yeah, Love Letter, they surely printed a lot of that.
I mean, you could get that anywhere.
And 6 different kinds. The L5R one or the...
Well, the only one that matters now is the Batman one, so...
You have no idea how well that sells. It's
I
crazy.
know, that's what I'm saying. That one specifically, and just those little Batman tokens, and they
I'm
actually changed the rules up just a tiny bit for it.
I'm excited about the Adventure Time one. I hope it does well.
I'm sure it will. I mean, just because it's Adventure Time.
Adventure Time Munchkin did pretty okay.
The comic books do great at their store.
I still haven't read any of the comics.
Comic books are really good because they use a lot of indie artists and writers to do the book. So.
Oh, that's neat. Yeah, I've seen a little bit of the cartoon, so I'm not super familiar, but I like it.
Yeah, I never heard of it until Hunter Shelbourne mentioned it when the card game came out.
I mean,
had
it's
no clue
ridiculous.
what it was.
Have you played
It's
the card
completely
game?
ridiculous.
No.
The card game is so much better as an app, though. That's what I feel really bad about. I usually like Cardboard better than the app version of something, but the app of Card Wars, which is what the Adventure Time card game is, it's so much better.
Yeah. Maybe I'll try it on the app.
Adventure Time just reminds me of when I was young and I watched Ren and Stimpy. That was my cartoon. So I'm glad that the kids these days, they have their version.
Yeah. I've seen some of these newer cartoons and stuff. I'm glad they had our version too. That kind of thing. Some of the stuff my niece and nephew watch.
I don't know. I've still never seen an Aeon Flux for this generation, so I'm waiting for that.
No.
Yeah, I don't know if we will. We'll see.
Yeah, that show would not exist today. So.
Yeah, a lot of them. Yeah, even like Tiny Looney Tunes and all that. They changed them all up. It surprised me how much they changed them. Getting rid of certain characters, and they're all that new animation stuff instead of like the old style one. Yeah.
They have Looney Tunes still?
Yeah, it's
not the same.
not the same. Yeah.
I feel like you could just put the 20 years of Looney Tunes on repeat and just let that go.
Yeah.
People would watch it, but there's some stuff that people may find offensive here and there, culturally and just the products of the time.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with it, and that's why it's not out there for kids to watch nowadays.
Yeah. But yeah, they they remake everything. So there's gonna be new Ghostbuster movies and all that. Yeah.
I'm excited about new Ghostbusters, so
yeah,
I know people are hating on it, but man, I'm excited. I love Kristen Wiig and I love Melissa McCarthy, so
I'll probably watch it, probably both of them, but I don't know if it'll hold up to the original. Even the original, the second one didn't hold up to the original. But
it's hard to beat Dan Aykroyd. That's just hard to do in life. But I'm excited just to let it be its own thing, even though it's called Ghostbusters. I'm psyched.
Yeah, Jen said there was something else that they were remaking, and it surprised me. I can't remember what the hell it was now.
Big Trouble in Little China.
What?
That might be it.
No, they aren't.
Yeah, they are with The Rock.
Yeah, that might be it.
That's my favorite thing. Okay, that's great. I love The Rock. He's one of those stars that can do no wrong in my eyes.
He's great, but I don't know. Big Trouble in Little China with The Rock?
It's going to be a comedy this time around, see?
Well, it was a comedy the first time around.
It had comedic elements, but this is just going to be straight up get drunk, go watch The Rock be...
I have been watching Ballers, that HBO series with him. That's a pretty good series.
Speaking of wrestlers, how excited are you guys for WWF Showdown? The board game?
Paul?
I'm not big into wrestling. Maybe when I was younger,
But that's what I thought. It was I saw
8-year-old Paul is super stoked on it, but 8-year-old Paul's barely there now.
I felt a little bad because they showed the cover of it, and I really only knew one of the people. I had to look up the rest. I felt a little dumb.
Yeah, I'm sure if Lance were here, and they would. I was never really in the wrestling.
Yeah,
I watched
when I
it
was
when
younger,
I was little, but I
yeah.
just thought it was such a weird theme for them to do, and the art and everything is so muted for it being a wrestling game. You'd think they would have gone all
who's
out.
doing that game?
It's the guys who did Spartacus.
Gale
okay,
Force 9.
Gale Force. Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Which is a
So
good
it'll
thing
probably
because
be a good game. I mean,
right, because Spartacus was good.
Spartacus
Firefly-
is great. Yeah.
Other people liked Firefly.
I've enjoyed every game of theirs I've played so far. The only one I haven't played was Homeland. Homeland, yeah.
I have not played it, and I've never seen the show, so I don't know anything about
Yeah,
it.
I haven't even tried Homeland. Firefly is cool for what it is. It's just that's
Dice
a
checker.
long, big, crazy game.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pick up and deliver forever.
Yeah.
Any game you call Firefly where the Reavers don't really matter bugs me.
Oh, I heard the expansion fixed some of them issues, but I haven't played it with one of the expansions. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't made it that far on it.
I don't expansion. I just don't. There are less than 5 expansions in my collection.
I do if I really like the game. I mean,
But if I like the game, I probably like the base game alone.
yeah. But I mean, if it's kind of expansion where it's just adding a little bit more of the same thing, sometimes that's good.
Like
Yeah.
you have Tuscany behind you. I like Tuscany.
Oh yeah, that's a whole lot to the game, and that changes the game completely.
I just like the way they did it. They're like, just pick something out and try it.
Yeah, I mean, I like the. Yeah, I mean, kind of like certain games, like the way they, like where you can add certain parts of it, like even like the Bruges expansion or something like that.
Ginkopolis did a good job of that.
I think Bruges did a good job too, like where you don't have to use all this stuff, but some of it's kind of fun.
Bruges is one of my... and you know I'm a Feld girl, but I don't like Bruges.
It's a different type of Feld. But
So
fun.
luck-driven. It drives me
I mean,
nuts.
it's just. I mean, even that can be mitigated somewhat. It's just what cards come, I guess, is the luck.
But they're double-sided. They're colored and they're crazy swingy powers.
Yeah, but there's so many that are so swingy. It's the same kind of thing with like
But I'd
like
rather play a Chudok if it's going to be that swingy.
Yeah, me too. But I still like Bruges. Still fun. I mean, it doesn't take very long for what it is. I mean,
That's true.
I mean, for that level of Euro, like the 1 hour Euro, it's good for what it is.
Fair enough. I'd rather play Macau.
Yeah,
That's a game
but
I
same
really hope-
thing. Like, good luck finding it for people that don't have it.
Well, that, and I hope they update it if they ever reprint it, because it's not colorblind friendly. The graphic design is horrible. Like,
Yeah, I mean, same thing. I can't even play Trajan. Like, I
really,
wanna
I've
play
never played
Trajan.
Trajan with someone that was colorblind. I've played Macau with someone that was colorblind before, but
Yeah, I mean, I have Trajan, and I've looked at it, and I'm like, I don't even think this will work. Like,
Are you
it's just
sure?
like some of the colors are so close, like where you can't tell the colors of those little discs.
the
Like,
only thing you'd have to
with the
replace are the
cards, like
player
matching them
discs.
with the cards and stuff like that too. The cards that have the tiles that have the little
right.
circles on them.
I
mean, that
all they
match
had
the
to do
discs.
was like shade them in. All they had to do was shade in the
Yeah.
colors, and
I mean, I'm gonna probably go through. We've thought about it, like mark.
I could,
certain
yeah,
ones.
like if you brought that out, you could mark them, but that's frustrating and awful. The game is
Yeah, I
amazing,
mean-
but
Yeah, I mean that's the thing is I want to play the game. I haven't played it because of the colorblindness issues.
But
So
if you
I'm
like
thinking
Feld,
I'm
that-
gonna mark it up. Yeah.
yeah. I didn't think about that because the colors are so weird. They're like pastel pink and pastel orange and
Well, I mean, companies are getting a lot better about it. Like, like even Splendor, like the first edition,
that's the
was
worst.
ridiculous to play colorblind. Where the red and the green is just it, like not the actual tiles, but on the cards,
Right.
it's just the circles. I mean, how dumb was it not to do the shapes that they put on all the tiles? But I mean, the second edition, how they did it, but
Well, especially because every if you have Photoshop, you can click one button to see what your stuff would look like if you're colorblind. All you need to do is push the button.
Yeah.
But,
Now, what kind of colorblind are you, Paul? Is it the red, blue, or?
It's red-green.
Red-green.
So it's like reds and greens a lot of times. Like I play poker with some friends, and it's a real mess. Like with the red and the green chips that we will play with sometimes. So they're usually honest. They're honest with me on what chips like I'm putting out. They're like, "Whoa, are you betting that much?" And they're like, "Okay."
Yeah, you need a different set of poker chips.
I mean, it's just a little friendly local game in the neighborhood, so they're willing to help me, to be honest. So. But I mean, yeah, it's that. I mean, like blues and purples a lot of the time. It's just certain colors just blend together and look too similar. So I'll just get them confused. Like I said, on Splendor when I first started messing with that game, like there would be times where I'd be like, okay, I got this, and then I'd go to buy this card or something. They're like, whoa, you don't have the right chips. Okay, I don't.
For us, it's when they put white, beige, and brown in a game because we play most often we play at pubs or game cafes, and the lighting isn't usually very good.
Right.
You can't put white, beige, and brown into a game. It just makes everything awful.
Yeah, I don't think publishers are really thinking about playing in a pub. I mean, low light.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of them are getting a lot better about the color blindness stuff, and it is becoming more of an issue, and they're seeing that. I mean, just because there's so many more people playing games now, there's of course going to be more people that are colorblind playing these games. Yeah,
that's true. But what do you guys think about this 504 coming out?
I'm excited to check it out and just mess around with it. I mean, it's a cool idea.
It's going to be a hot mess that everyone I know, including myself, are going to buy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that game's going to sell like crazy. That's a huge pickup for Stronghold.
I think mechanic-wise, it's either going to work really well or it's going to be shit. It's one of the two.
Some of the games are probably great. Most of them are probably crap. But I mean, there's going to be a couple that.
The Gathering of Friends, they had like 6 people try it, and half of them hated it and half of them loved it because whatever your mix is, it's going to tell you.
Yeah, they're playing completely different games, all of them. Though, so I mean, I don't even know how that you can play test something like that.
That's goofy as hell.
Like, I mean, what do you do? Play each one just a bunch of times, and okay, let's go to the next one.
God no.
I know he had like some computer software involved with it at one point. But yeah, I'm not sure how you. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how you would play test that. I mean, especially if it does 504 games. It's.
Yeah, I mean, you can't play test all 504 games. It's just.
I just want one crazy reviewer. I was talking to a coworker about this. I just want one crazy person to play all of them and blog about it.
Yeah, do a run-through video of each one.
Lock them up in a room for a year.
Have Rado do it. Have Rado do a run-through of each freaking game.
Now, I would imagine I will review it after playing like 3 iterations 2 times. That's probably where I'm at. I don't know.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Is like.
At what point do you know if it's good?
Yeah, because I mean, okay, any game you play once, you don't know if you really got that game or not, and
right.
So you're gonna want to play it at least a second time. So that's what 1,008.
Now, I'm good. Good.
I was gonna say, I think there will definitely be a point at which on Board Game Geek you'll go on and people will give their suggestions, like they'll say 206 or that they'll let everyone know what they liked.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they'll definitely be. And there are people that are out there that will play all of them. I mean, I doubt I'll ever get to all of them. But
it won't be me, let me tell you.
I'll wait till the good ones come to the top and I'll play those ones.
Well, because if it's pick up and deliver and take that, I'm gonna skip those sections. Like, I know myself well enough to know which mechanics I'm not gonna like.
Right. Yeah. I'm curious. of the weight of these different combinations. Like, are they going to be like lighter or heavier? Medium at least. I'm curious to see how that pans out. Yeah.
It's just a goofy novelty thing, and I love it.
I have to imagine they're all fairly light games.
They
Yeah,
can't
that's
be
what I
too
was
heavy.
thinking.
If they're
Yeah, I mean,
heavy,
it's
they're not
just-
going to be balanced, and I'm going to hate it. So.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like you're not going to want to spend too much time doing something like that. Like playing a game like that. I just not knowing.
Right.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, it is interesting. And Mark, why I got you on? Me and Audi have been talking about negative reviews, the lack of, and I'm not talking about, just being a troll on somebody, but, not such a great light on a review. Do you do a lot of negative reviews?
Me?
Yeah.
So the reason I don't do a lot of them, I'll definitely talk about things I don't really care for. Like Queen's Architect was something I didn't really care for, but it had some value to it. Like the game itself had neat elements, and I'm happy to talk about a game that maybe didn't hit with me that might hit with others. But to use my free time to talk about stuff I didn't like and just do negativity out in the world makes zero sense to me. I don't get paid for this. There's no reason. No one's holding me accountable for any of the games I play. So I feel like it is less of a use of my time, and it's only hurting people. So I just don't choose to.
Yeah,
Unless it's real bad.
that's been, the general consensus of it. I'm just wondering, like, if it's a disservice to the viewers not to do negative reviews,
In a good or a bad way, the consensus that I've gotten from people is that I'm known for being very honest if people ask me about games. Because I'll rip apart a game, but I usually just don't do it in review form.
Right.
Just, if someone wants to pay me to review games, I'm happy to put out some negatives along with the positives, but it's my time. It takes a heck of a lot of effort. So I'd rather use it on things that should get more notice and get more sales. And I think people are quick to say that someone like Rado only does things that are positive, but he plays a lot of games, and he only does reviews on the things he likes because he does a heck of a lot of reviews.
Yeah, why would you want to edit a video for something, like, and put all that time into something for something you don't like?
Watching Tom Vassell rip apart a game, I'm like, how many hours did someone spend writing and editing and shooting this very negative something? And Tom's one of the only people that will do a fully negative review.
And he'll even say that this game's not for him. He'll say
Right.
that a lot of the time, too.
Yeah, he will.
And Rado, what I love about what he does is he'll quickly say, I'm not keeping this game, I'm not buying this game, but here's who it is good for. Or he has that geek list of all the games he's ever gotten rid of and the reasons why. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, it is, actually.
I wish I had the time that he has.
That man is a Superman. I don't know how he does it. Even retired, I don't know how he does it.
He's a special person. He's a lot of energy. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I barely sleep, and I barely get things filmed, and it's by the seat of my pants if I have an extra hour here or there, but I don't know how you play the games and review them as well as he does.
Yeah, neither do I. Yeah. So, like I said, he's a special breed. All right. I'll ask Lance's favorite question there, Marjorie. If you could play any game with any person, dead or alive, what game would it be, and what person would that be? Or fictional or living,
So the question gets bigger. Any game, any person. Oh boy. I have no idea. I will play cribbage with any human that wants to. can't think of a human, like a celebrity or someone I would want to play a game with, because if they don't like games, I don't want to play with them. Oh, that's tricky. I don't know. I'd love to play with Vin Diesel. He likes games.
Yeah, I heard he was in Dungeons and Dragons.
I think he played WoW too. Let's play some games with Vin Diesel and Mr. T, and that'd be a good group. But I don't know any celebrities that actually talk about Eurogames other than Rich Sommer.
What about you, Paul? Did Lance ever ask you that?
He's never asked me. It's a crazy question. It really is a crazy question. I mean, it really is. Like, I don't know. Like I said, I play poker with some of my friends. It'd be interesting to play with some of the professional poker players, but...
Or played poker with James Ernest from Cheap Ass Games. That'd be cool. He's a poker player. Yeah, that question's impossible. What do people even say to that?
I've heard all sorts of things. One of his references is he liked to play. I forget who Lance said it, but they would like to play with Kennedy diplomacy.
Because Kennedy apparently used to play diplomacy.
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah.
I would play diplomacy with pretty much any politician. That'd be fun.
That'd be crazy.
I've still never gotten through a game of diplomacy because I always forget the online ones. You have to do it like within 48 hours, and I never remember. I always get kicked out of my games.
Yeah, that's probably a game I'll never play, but
oh, really?
It'd be interesting. Yeah, I probably never will, but we'll see.
I'd play it if I had the right group, I guess, to play it with. If I had just a group of friends that were interested in playing something like that. It just depends on the interest in the game, I think. I'll pretty much play anything if there's the interest there for it.
I don't know, one of my favorite games is Dominant Species, and it feels like diplomacy. It's like a 4-hour diplomacy.
That's another one I would like to get to the table one day. Dominant Species.
I can recommend that, but only with the right group. You get some people that get hurt, they get hurt feelings, and it turns into 4 hours of misery.
All right, so my wife's out. Nah, we're pretty good about that stuff like that. You know, once we leave the table, we're back to normal. Well, 10 minutes or so afterwards, but yeah.
Yeah, we do Dominant Species at Christmas usually. So.
It's a great time. Merry Christmas. I'm gonna stab you in the back.
Oh no, that's a front stabbing game.
Yeah, I've heard. I've talked to a couple guys who did that. The diplomacy game, the podcaster of the diplomacy game, and the one enjoyed it in the beginning, and then by the end, he's like, "I just wish it was over." It was just taking forever. Yeah, it went on for, I forget exactly. I think he said it was like 3 or 4 months. Because they take like a turn a week or something.
Yeah, see, if I played it, I'd probably want like a group of people, just set aside a day and play it. But
it's only 7 hours or so. I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not gonna take multiple days.
But it's gonna set aside a day for it. I mean, definitely.
Yeah, that's in the group with like Twilight Imperium 3 or it's stuff I would love to, but probably will never. Because of the length and all that in the group. And we'll see. With the guys up at Beer Mongers, it's usually the hotness. What's new. It's very rare we play the same game more than once up there. Unless somebody's really interested in the game, then it'll come out for a couple of weeks and then it'll disappear. But Wiz Wars pops up a couple times a year.
Just like regular Wiz War?
Yeah.
I don't get that game.
It's a beer and pretzels game,
Yeah.
Nothing, just knock them down. Yeah.
Sure. Do the thing.
Yeah, but yeah, it comes out pretty early. But a lot of them guys are. Some of them are real heavy Euro guys. Some of them are Ameritrash guys. Yeah, but pretty much everybody will play anything, which I kind of enjoy that with those guys. You know, it's rare that somebody will say no to a game.
That's a good feeling.
Yeah.
I only have trouble with games like Chaosmos and my sillier games that I like. Those are harder for me to get to a table. Anything Euro or anything strategy-wise I can get, but the silly stuff is hard.
Okay.
Yeah, see, I have a lot of friends that are not as into gaming as I am, so I can get lighter games to the table. Getting the heavier games is the problem for me.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat.
And I want to play the heavier games.
I'm in the same boat here. It drives me nuts. Yeah. Like I said, that beer mongers is just a time constraint usually. Yeah, but like I said, they pulled out Kanban that one night. I don't even know if they finished that. And they were at it for a good 5 hours.
Oh my goodness, no, that's like an hour and a half game.
But I mean, if it was the first game, maybe, and they're just trying to learn it and nobody knew how to play it, if they're learning like right out of the rule book right there.
That's what they were doing, yeah.
I actually really like the rulebook for Kanban. I thought it was well done.
It is well done, but I mean, it's just like maybe look over it first before you bring it to the game night.
Oh boy, I don't know if I'd want to play that for 5 hours. That game.
Yeah, it's.
When you know it, Barry,
that
game goes fast.
Yeah, it's fast.
It's over before you know it.
Yeah, we'll see. Like I said, I just looked at it. I was like, nah, not tonight. Not tonight. My brain will melt. Yeah, but
the Gallerist is supposed to be lighter, so don't worry. It'll be here any minute.
I'm really looking forward to that one.
Oh my god, anytime now, anytime.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, with them guys, whenever you hear "fuck this game," you know it's a good game.
It's a good sign. You just run over.
All right, so we're starting to wind down. I think it'll be the shortest Alaboom in history. No 6 hours. Is there anything you want to talk about before we go, Margaret?
I don't believe so. How about you, Paul?
But yeah.
Thanks for having me on.
No problem. Yeah, like I said, it's a bad week. Yeah, I wasn't.
Well, it's GenCon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
It's a good week. These games are going to come out, and in a month or so, we'll be able to play some of them.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll hear all about it from Lance. Yeah, not so much Travis. I'm probably in the booth all weekend. But
as long as he doesn't stroke out.
he had a panic attack. I mean, come on. He overreacted. It's Travis.
I was like, I don't know anything about that. Oh man, panic attacks are the worst.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's he had a lot riding on Origins, you know.
Something as big and crazy as GenCon might give me a panic attack. It's just that many people just there. It's crazy.
I'm lucky no one knew who I was when I went to GenCon, so I was just kind of one amongst the masses. But I can't imagine what it would be like if people knew who you were and they were approaching you all the time and all that.
Yeah.
None of that.
Yeah, I can imagine that wouldn't be the best. Well, I'm not really in the crowds, like I said, so for me, that's why I'm debating on whether to go 1 year or not. I don't know if I could handle all that.
Well, I've never been to a national con. Like, I'm going to go to BGG Con this year, and that'll be my first, like, bigger con, I guess. It's not even bigger, really.
But BGG, of all the things, it feels small. You can totally just chill and stay in a very small group.
That's Well, I mean, I want to maybe play with new people and not stay in a small group, but I mean, it just seems more approachable and more
My idea for BGG this year, because BGG more than GenCon or Essen, people will know who I am and want to chat with me. I'm just gonna like, hey, I'm at this table, and let people come to me. That's my
There you
plan.
go.
That's my
That's a good
whole
way to do
plan
it.
this year. Because last year was me trying to run around and find people, and I ended up on my own so much that it was just weird. It was a hard con.
Is it that hard to get into games at BGG, you think?
No, if you're good at approaching strangers, it's probably very easy. I'm not good at that.
Yeah, see, that's where I might have a little bit of a problem, but
So my plan is, and you guys are more than welcome to be part of this, I'm going to do one of those things where you set up like it's like a texting chat room almost. I do this for PAX every year where I can text out that I'm going to be at blah, blah, blah wanting to play this game, and it'll go to everybody's phones.
oh wow.
Okay.
I'm going to set one of those up because I do
Or,
that
I mean,
for
you can even
PAX.
Twitter it out, like, hey,
Twitter didn't
playing
work
this
for
game
me
here.
last year.
Oh, huh.
Twitter was too quiet because I ended up spending I ate alone and I played like very few games with people outside of the people I knew the best at BGG last year. So
Like, is BGG something like I don't know, I've never been in this thing.
right.
So, we're thinking about renting a car. Is that like a
So
maybe a
I don't.
logical
Have you been
thing
to
to
Dallas
do?
before?
I haven't.
So
I know this is kind of outside of Dallas, right? Grapevine.
right. So Dallas
Texas,
Fort
whatever.
Worth is like maybe a half-hour drive. So if you're driving out there and if you eat meat, people go to this like the Hard 8 or Hard something for barbecue, and they go there every year, and that's like a thing to find someone with a car. I would say renting a car is good if you want to
Well,
go.
no, I mean we're flying out there, but we're
Yeah.
thinking of renting a car while we're there so we can go away from the con at times because we don't want to just be stuck at the airport. I don't know how well the shuttles are, or if you mess with that stuff.
The shuttle goes to Grapevine, Texas, which is not Dallas.
Yeah.
It's-
Okay.
So, I mean, you can go, and it's fine and all that, but either split cabs or rent a car or know someone local.
Yeah. That's what we're
yeah.
thinking, is just renting a car.
Because you're literally gaming in the airport, so there's not good food. That's the one thing about BGG is the food.
That's the problem. That's the main thing, is we were thinking food. And then my girlfriend, and because we're in Dallas, she was like, I want to see maybe museums or something else there.
Oh
I
my
mean,
God, you have to go to the aquarium. It's amazing. It's like a rainforest. It's an indoor rainforest, and there's sloths everywhere.
No, really.
Yeah. My sister lives in Dallas, so I usually spend a couple of days with my sister and her kids before I go to BGG Con. So I get to see the town before
Oh, okay.
I game.
That's cool. Yeah, from what I understand, Paul, it's out in the middle of nowhere, and there's like no restaurants or anything around it.
BGG
And-
food sucks.
And you should take a Garmin, and from what I understand, as soon as you get to the hotel, program it to look the coordinates into it, because there was something funny with the Garmin.
I just use my phone.
No, or your phone, yeah.
Yeah, I've heard it's kind of hard to maneuver around the hotel
You're
Yeah.
fine.
because the airport and where all the roads are and stuff.
It is weird because if Texas is this giant, like, there's just a million places to get off the highway that you have to get off at like, very specific times, and there's toll roads everywhere.
Yeah. But, I don't think I'm going this year. 1 year, maybe, though. No.
It's the only con I actually take vacation at work from. Like, I go there for my vacation for the year.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I took my wife and sister to Origins for the first time this year. They enjoyed it a lot more than they thought they would. And Jen did bring up BBG Con. My sister won't go because she's got something about Texas, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. A couple.
Really?
It's
But I-
couple politicians down there she dislikes and stuff.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. But you know, she's usually high, so there's that.
So one thing I haven't done, because it's one of the few places I have one, they have a Medieval Times in Dallas. I really want to do that one year.
Okay. Yeah, we have one.
Medieval Times.
Yeah.
We have one over here on the East Coast. I never been to, but
We have a whole casino dedicated to it.
they,
If you were in the middle of a
Excalibur.
desert, I'd be happy to go to Vegas, but you're in the middle of a desert.
but it's a dry heat.
Ew, no, it's still hot,
Yeah.
though.
Did you come out here for Gamma?
I will at some point. I did not the last 2 years. We had somebody else at the company that used to do that. I am likely going next year. Our stores are weird because we have mostly an
somebody
online
told me
business.
they're talking about moving it to Reno.
Oh, no. Oh, no. No one wants that. I'm originally from Lovelock. I hate Reno.
I was surprised that so many media people are going into that now. Yeah, before it was just a trade show. Yeah. An insider trade show. Yeah. I was surprised. Like Rodney was there last year, and Vassal and them guys.
Yeah, I think they lost some of their identity as a brick and mortar only.
Well, because I work at the comic store.
Did we lose them?
Maybe.
Or was that Paul you cut out?
Oh, because I work at the comic store, I could register it for Gamma, and because we're talking about maybe doing like gaming stuff, I can go to the Gamma trade show.
Oh, okay.
And it being in Las Vegas, it wouldn't really be that hard for me to go.
Stroll down the way.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally a mile from our store.
Oh, okay. Well, for you, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I have no urge to go to Vegas. Never did. I don't gamble. I don't like the desert. Yeah.
There's good food, though.
Desert's really pretty. Yeah, there's some of the best food in the world in Las Vegas, but you're gonna pay for it.
My brother used to go out there on maneuvers in the Army, and he told me it actually gets pretty cold at night, which surprised me. But he's like freezing at times. But
There's just nothing to like prevent. There's no like clouds or giant mountains or anything. It's so flat. You're gonna feel everything.
Yeah. Yeah, he's even he didn't really enjoy Vegas itself.
Well, there's mountains. Las Vegas is a valley.
Well, in near Vegas, I thought it was a while out.
No. Vegas is a valley, so there's mountains all the way around Las Vegas.
Mm.
You can just see them off around. But Vegas is the floor of the valley. And there's tons of dirt.
Sounds pleasant.
It's very dry. It's very dry. You have to constantly drink water.
Oh, sure. I'm sure. Alright, so, like I said, I think we're going to wrap it up.
There's no reason for people to live here.
So, Marguerite, if somebody wants to get a hold of you, where can they find you on the internets?
I'm at MaggieBot on Twitter, so MAGGIBOT. On Facebook, MaggieBot.com, MAGGIBOT.com. That's my YouTube channel, and that's pretty much where you can find me.
Okay. And Paul, when will we see videos from you? I'm kidding.
I don't know if you'll really be seeing videos from me. It's a crowded place. You guys do a good job.
Maggie does, yeah. But one thing I always tell people, if you're thinking about doing this.
Oh, I like your videos too, Barry.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, but one thing I do tell people is if you are thinking about doing is do a couple first to see if it's something you think you'll enjoy doing repeatedly. You know, because there is a lot of work that goes into them, editing and stuff like that. You know?
You gotta like it. I laugh when people think that it's just needed. Like if there's a gap in the market, I'm like, no, there's no gap. You just have to really like doing it.
Yeah.
Like maybe I'll try doing some written reviews or something like that and mess around with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be doing video.
Yeah, I don't consider myself a reviewer, so I'd never do a written review or anything like that. It's just me and my wife goofing around on the camera. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I like I said, I mostly play 2 players, and there's enough people doing 2-player specific reviews.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah, there are getting more and more. When I first started, there really wasn't. That's why, yeah. There was Rodney and Rado. That was basically it. Yeah.
Well, Tom.
He's not really 2-player. I mean, he focuses more on the 4.
I do really like your reviews.
Thanks. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, and then if you do enjoy doing it, you know, go for it.
Might
Like
as well.
Yeah. Stick it out. You know, you're not going to get 1 million subscribers overnight. You know.
Just have to be okay with just people chatting with you. That's what people do.
Yeah. Yeah. It may take a while to find your voice. It took me a while. Yeah. Get the groove of the channel. Yeah. It actually took me a long time to get used to the camera. I'm still not completely comfortable with it. I'm a private person, so that had a lot to do with it. Yeah. There's a saying in my family, if you ask us how we're doing, we tell you it's none of your fucking business. Yeah. We're old school
warm
Irish.
family.
Yeah, we're old school Irish. But, so thanks for coming on.
Sure thing.
Thanks everybody for watching, and Lance and the crew will be back next week. Hopefully this wasn't too painful. Good night, everyone.
Bye.